Syndication is crucial. You can do it in real estate development. You can do it in buying existing assets. So when you're doing a ground up development, you want to syndicate that deal. You want to make sure that you build in some carrying costs and make sure that your investors know that there isn't going to be any kind of a return until the project is done. So what you want to do is you want to build in all of those returns are deferred. So if you're giving a 6% preferred return and then you're going to give a 50-50 split or 70-30 split or 80-20, whatever you decide that property and that profit split's going to be, then you just tell your investors, hey, there is no preferred return while we are building the project. We have to get it stabilized and get the income coming in before we can pay the pref, but it will accumulate. So if an investor invests $100,000 in your project and you're syndicating it, that investment is going to accrue so that when the project is stabilized, they get paid back and they get caught up on that investment. And if you sell, when you sell or refinance, they get their capital back and their profit in the deal based on the split that you've negotiated. So syndication is critical. It takes a lot of equity to do development, typically depending on your financials, depending on the project and the lender you're working with. A lot of times they like to see 30 to 40% equity in a project. You might be able to get by with 25 on some deals, depending on the size of the deal, whether it's a spec house versus a commercial building versus land development. So just be prepared to have to raise money. When you go out and syndicate, you want to go through the process. As soon as you get your project going and you get it under contract, you want to take that project to your syndication attorney, your SEC attorney, and get the process going so that they can get all your paperwork and your filing done. And you got to determine what type of filing you want to do, whether you want to do a Reg B, 506B, 506C, or if you want to do a Reg A, which it gets complicated and expensive. I like 506C because you can do general solicitation, so you don't have to worry about all that. All your investors do need to be accredited, but that's not a big deal. There's plenty of accredited investors out there that will invest with you once you've proven yourself. You have a great project, you have a great story to tell. It's easy to get people on board on development projects because it's just so much fun to be part of a development project. As long as the project works, the numbers work, and you have a good team behind you. So syndicating a real estate development deal, it's all about the story, the vision, it's all about relationships. They got to know, like, and trust you first before they'll invest with you. They're not so concerned with the returns at first. What they're concerned about is you, your abilities, your expertise, the story, the vision, and then it's all about the returns after that. So when it comes to syndication, it's a very important tool in the process of developing real estate if you have to raise equity from other investors, and you need to understand what a security is. Anytime you're taking money from somebody else and you're returning on that money and they're doing nothing, they're totally passive, even if it's just one, that is a security. If you are doing all the work and generating a return for somebody else when they've invested money, that is a security. So make sure you understand the rules and laws in your state, as well as the federal rules and laws of securities and syndication, the different types of filings and all of that, and get with an SEC attorney and make sure that you discuss your project thoroughly, the process. You want to set yourself up correctly. You have your development entity that you're going to do general business in, and then your project is going to have a project level entity that the property is going to be taken, you're going to take title to the property in, and you're going to fund for that syndication. So it's a great way to fund your projects. It's a great way to get going in the business. So get out there, find yourself a piece of land, put it under contract. We're going to talk about that later, but do not close on the land until you get all your approvals. And that way you can start all of your fundraising efforts. You always want to raise more money than you think you need so that you got interest reserves built in, you've got a little cushion built in, and if you get people that back out the last minute, you've over raised. So if you need 30%, raise 40. If you need 40%, raise 50, and so on.